Greetings YouTube, welcome to 0AD Newbie Rush. I'm Jim Cogan and we have an amazing 4v4 game for you today. It's a really good one, looking forward to that. Just before we begin, you'll see we've started paused, which means there is some pre-ramble here. Just to let you know, we are in version 0.9.9 of the NRock mod. The ever-evolving NRock mod. Main changes today. Last week we were in a slightly experimental one which had resource scores up here, and certainly one person mentioned that they actually prefer to see the resources up here instead of the scores. The scores are still there, I believe. If I flip them over, we have economic and military and exploration scores here on the second page of the overlay. I may remember to look at those in the heat of the game. I sometimes forget, but I usually refer to this page when I'm looking at the breakdown of the army on show. But they are here and we'll have a look if they give us extra clues. But as far as this game goes, we are looking mostly at resources on this page just to see, especially in the early parts of the game, the economy booms. So that's there. In terms of games that I'm going to be broadcasting and when I get around to them, I have a little backlog of games and an ever decreasing timescale until the next version, Alpha 25 of 0AD, comes out. I'm slightly connected with the project at the moment in terms of that I'm doing some of the PR and social media work for 0AD. So if you've seen any announcements on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram as well, or the big announcement on the 0AD forums or on the 0AD website, that was me. So yeah, I'm quite close to it, so I will probably get some warning in advance when Alpha 25 is actually going to happen, and this means I have a short amount of time to get quite a few games using Alpha 24 done before they become somewhat irrelevant, really, because everybody will want to see Alpha 25 games and see the new balancing and new features. I'm hearing very, very good things about it in terms of some of the things that improves in the gameplay, subtle little things that all amount up to what we hope will be a really significant update to 0AD, one that actually makes the playing experience a lot more enjoyable. I'm not saying I did not enjoy Alpha 24. I have learned to love Alpha 24. It is still 0AD and the action is still good, but I think Alpha 24 was about making some huge changes under the hood, and they resulted to quite an interesting reaction when people first started playing it. A few little things people did not like. This is, I think, the concluding part of that. These are, you know, the foundations were laid in Alpha 24, and now the good stuff is going to start to come to the fore. So I am really looking forward to Alpha 25's launch, but until then I've got to try and cram in as many games as possible. I may, if I get time, with the regular midweek duels, I'm thinking of maybe doing a few double headers to try, because quite a few people have sent me some 1v1s, so try and maybe get 2 commentaries done within a single show for that. So more content, more commentaries, more replays coming your way. It's going to be good. At the moment, speculative dates on Alpha 25. The date range is provisionally the 20th of June to the 30th of June. Sometime in that time, it may go live. This depends on testing and stuff working properly right off the bat and no hold-ups there. But that is the provisional date range. We don't know if it'll be near the start of that range or towards the end, or whether it might miss it altogether if a big game-breaking bug is found in testing and it needs to be sorted out. But it's gonna be either in that range or soon after, I am pretty certain. So I may get a bit more time than I thought, but I'm gonna try and get as many replays done as possible. So lots of stuff coming your way. Right, that's enough waffle. I don't know how long that's taken, but it's taken far too long. Let's get straight into the game. It's a 4v4. It is a medium-sized mainland map. I still can't remember if it's medium or norm. I think this one is medium. everything's all redefined now with the different sizes. It's 4v4, and we'll start the action and have a look at the first team. It looks like it's the temperate biome. Let's go for it. Here we go. Team 1 in the north, in the lilac-y purple here. Friend of the channel, this is Edworth playing as the Ghouls. Now, I don't know if this is choice or a random draw. Edworth, we saw him a few weeks back in absolutely devastating form in a 4v4, where he almost single-handedly kicked the ass out of that game. It was pretty impressive. Some very clever technical play. Looking forward to seeing Edworth in action again. That's Edworth in the purple playing as the Ghouls. And moving across to the light blue or cyan, we have Rorosaur, also somebody who's been on the channel a few times. If I remember much of Rorosaur, I think they were quite good at Boom, not necessarily the best at decisive combat, but I'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Just to mention, I didn't mention Edworth's rating. Rating was 1641. Rorosaur's rating slightly lower, 1511, playing as the Athenians. I think this has got to be a random draw, possibly. Nobody seems to think much of the Athenians in Alpha 24. We'll be interested to see how Rorosaur does. Like I said, a good player at economic boom and development. Bit of a question mark over their ability to do combat. We'll have a look over here. It looks like with the green team, which we haven't mentioned yet, there's three cavalry units on the march scouting round. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The bright green blob, whether they go in to attack Edworth early, it looks like they are. So still haven't managed to do introductions, but we'll keep an eye on this. I could see them on the mini-map. Are they going to try and go in on the women? I don't think they are. I think this is just a scouting exercise, but we'll have a look. If they start moving inwards, then we know there's an attack going on. Let's have, we've talked about Rorosaur in the light blue, rating 1511 Athenians, and I think there is an attack. Yeah, in comes, well, we better introduce him. In the dark, in the very bright green, it's Dark City, rating of 612, who's down here on team 2. This is who is currently attacking Edworth. Only 1 kill, and I think that might be the end of it for now, so we can go back to introductions. Right, in the red, we have Jorsa, been on the channel quite a few times. Very aggressive player. Do like watching Jorsa play, possibly a little bit of tactical naivety sometimes in the bigger games, but a very, very capable player. Jorsa is playing as the Romans, as I'm just seeing. Dark City's going in for, it looks like he's going to have a pop at Rorosaur here. Yes. And he's got some targets there. There's 9 women there, but he's backing away again. Alright, we'll carry on with our introductions. Big thanks to Dark City for totally throwing out the team introductions. We're still just introducing Team 1. We'll be in Phase 2 by the time we get to what's going on. I'm keeping an eye on these green dots down here. I think they could be coming this way next anyway. But this is Jorsa rating 1291, bit of a low rating. And I'm pretty sure most of that is due to Jorsa not doing very many team games. Just interestingly, it's Dark City who's gonna go in on Rorosaur's female citizens gathering berries here, but Jorsa's got 3 cav of his own there to assist with the fight off. So let's have a look. Dark City's got 2 kills. There has been action elsewhere as well. Look at this. I'm seeing kills here for Lumia, who we haven't even mentioned yet. Interesting. I think we're going to have to go and have a look at that as Rorosaur chases away the Dark City's cav. Let's quickly round out the teams. We've also looked at Jorsa playing as the Romans. Not anybody's favourite civ in Alpha 24, but not as bad as some people make out. Look at this. In the yellow, haven't even had chance to sort of say anything about them. It's Velio Usimov, rated 1216, a player who's been on the show a few times, still quite a lowly rating and often on the wrong end of a bit of a defeat sometimes, and has been on the wrong end of a very early attack by some Slinger militia. And look how many kills we got. It's Lumia who did the attacking. It's the player below we haven't even introduced yet. Lumia has got 8 kills. So yeah, Evalio Usimov already 8 units down before we're even 3.5 minutes in. So that's quite a thing. I'm looking around. I'm seeing those 3 cav units of Dark City are still on the move. It looks like they're returning to base at the moment, so I don't think we've got more to report on there. But some early action in this 4v4 game. We've only just introduced Team 1. It looks like now things have settled down a little bit for Evalio Usimov. Let's have a quick look at Team 2, who we've seen quite a bit of already without even looking at them properly. So also playing as the Romans, down here, Dark City, who we saw getting those early kills, didn't lose any of his cav from attacking those 2 civs. That's quite impressive. In the green, rated 1612, quite a big hitter. That looks like Team 2's big hitter. I would say, yeah, Edworth clearly Team 1's big hitter, but Robertson's got quite a high rating. But Team 2, it looks like it's going to be all about Dark City. Very aggressive early start. And playing as the Romans, like I said, not somebody that you'd really pick if you were having a choice, but versatility in the Romans, if not quite the impact they used to have. So we'll see. I look forward to seeing how Dark City does. I'm pretty sure I covered Dark City in a couple of Alpha 23 games yonks ago. It's ages. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again. In the purple, all hail Caesar, rated 1580. Very strong lineup in Team 2. Everybody's 1500 plus. You would have to say on paper alone, Team 2 look like they've got the personnel, especially as Evalio Usimov is perhaps not the strongest player over on Team 1. Jorsa, there are question marks about their ability to control a tight game, and Rora saw question marks about their attack ability and the Civ that they've ended up with. But yeah, down here, Caesar in the pink or fuchsia, rating 1580. I think I've seen Caesar before in a big 4v4 ages and ages ago as well. I seem to remember Caesar very capable. Caesar was a very capable player, and I look forward to seeing them play. Iberians, very good defensive structures around them, so they're not going to be easy to get at. And will they expand? Will they be a dominant force later in the game? Let's see. Moving along, in the blue, player I've never seen before, Baba, I gotta get this right, Baba Praga. Baba Praga. 1519, I said, in the blue. Also playing as the Athenians. I don't know if there was an agreement that there would be heavy representative by the agreement. I just realised Evalio Usimov is playing as the Macedonians. I didn't actually mention that Civ, but never mind. But yeah, Baba Praga is playing as the Athenians, and we've got another Athenians playing alongside. We'll have a look at that. I have no idea if this is tactical or whether people have found some kind of advantage to the Athenians. We will see. I know nothing about them. Decent rating, barreling along at a decent pace, currently leading the population stakes. But it looks like it's all women at the moment, but they're relative safety in the pocket here at the bottom, so I don't think they're under any danger. And finally, our most aggressive starter in this game, Lumina, another player I know nothing about, another player playing as the Athenians. Lumina in the orange, rated 1604. So along with Dark City, you would have to consider them to be the big hitters on Team 2, both on the flanks as well. So 2 obviously very aggressive players there, and very intrigued to see how they go. From the early stages, you would have to say Evalio Usimov is up against it if Lumia's early start was anything to go by. Lumia playing, like I said, as the Athenians. I have no idea how we ended up with 3 Athenian teams, but we will see just how good or bad the Athenians are in the hands of fairly capable players. That's the rosters. Let's have a look at the populations again. It's Rorasar who has ripped in front. 65 population, biggest infantry as well. Couple of teams, 3 teams in fact, have gone in for additional cav. Evalio Uzumov and Jorsa, who we've seen have got Cav presence here. And Dark City has got 4 Cav out, and they are sat ominously in the middle. I think they're about to go in for another raid here. They're making a nuisance of themselves. There are 4 easy targets there that Edworth has left. And I think Edworth is about to, no, expertly done. He's got 3 of them in the house. One of them I think has been killed. So yeah, 3rd kill for Dark City. But Edworth, as you would expect, responds quite accurately. Falling behind a little bit in terms of population and pop capped at the moment is Valio Uzumov. Caesar also pop capped, but a much higher population figure. It's now Jorsa who's gone top of the tree in terms of population and infantry, as the Cav here attempt to go in on they're going in on Rorosar again. What have we got over this end? It's a mix. There's no change out there. There's just too many infantry. So looks like Dark City's plan here. Oh, Dark City has just realised that Edworth has launched a bit of a sneaky attack. Okay, so a whole load of infantry went over the border and have now hastily retreated. Did they get any kills? I don't know if that was a bit of revenge. We also see the Cav going in on the fields. They're getting shot up by, very wisely. Edworth gets people straight into the CC immediately and chases them away. They are not being effective. So Dark City has a couple of things to worry about. Edworth has decided he's going to expand straight into this area very close to Dark City's border. So good place to put towers, good place to put all manner of military buildings here to there's barracks there straight away, and that is going to be a sentry tower. There's one going up on this side. There's a race to see who can build this first. I think Dark City is not going to make it. I think it's clearly going to be Edworth who gets that off. He's going to try and deny the enemy one as well. I think he's going to be just too late. The tower is up. Hasn't been garrisoned yet. Why have they not put soldiers straight into it? That could get captured. Now he has. So, yeah. Interesting outbreak of violence on the left flank here. Population-wise, if we compare the two, Dark City up at 74, Edworth slight lead, 87. And more infantry as well. It's Rorosar who's now ripped in front. We've got a population of 100 already on 9 minutes, and he has started the town phase. So Rorosar is clearly going to be... is it Rorosar? Let's have a look. Yeah, Rorosar has gone for phase 2. Incredible population there from Rorosar and big infantry, so he's done really, really well. I did tell you he was quite good at the boom, and I think we could be looking at Baba Praga down here, who could be going second. Let's have a look at the other flank over here, how these guys are sizing each other up. Lumina has somewhat fallen behind. It's Lumina and Evalio Uzumov who have fallen behind on population. But interestingly, Lumina has got the most cav. 7 cav are out. I'm assuming they are hunting at the moment, but it's only a simple matter to send them straight into Evalio Uzumov's base. So you've hardly sort of looked at who's doing what food-wise. They've cleaned up all the berries by the time we got to look at them. Evalio Uzumov destroying a building over there that he was obviously built by mistake. Still lots of women. Very open structure. There is a tower, but there's nobody in it. Lumina, because of the nature of his base and where he's building to, hasn't put any defensive structures up. But I think that will be what this big gap here is for, as we see Jorsa heading for the town phase as well. Rorosar has made it. Edworth has made it too on 10 minutes and 5 seconds. So, is he stealing a march on Dark City? This is where it's going to kick off. Extra tower in place now, so lots of shooting going on here. These will get almost immediately upgraded to full-on defense towers without a doubt. And it will be very interesting to see how Dark City deals with this, because Edworth will have a bit of an advantage. We're seeing phase 2 buildings appearing already. That is the upgrade for the tower. We seeing market yet or anything? That's stable, so it looks like Edworth is going for the Cav approach again. Now, one of the interesting things we saw with Edworth in the last game is that he managed to upgrade some of his cav units, or whichever civ he was using, by some little known exploit. It's a bonus he managed to get by garrisoning them in a certain building, which upgraded their experience and generally their fighting capabilities incredibly quickly. Something which I knew nothing about. I cannot remember which civ it was now. I don't recall if he was Gauls that time. But it will be interesting. You have to keep an eye on Edworth because he knows a lot of the technical advantages. So seemingly a weaker civ, the Celtic faction's not as strong as, allegedly not as strong as they were in Alpha 23, but if you know all the bonuses and you know where they are, it can help massively. Dark City has started the town phase a little bit late, 11 minutes there. Anybody else? Evalia Usumov has, and Lumia has not long after, and Caesar has also done that. So most of Team 1 in Phase 2 at the moment. We're just waiting for Evalia Usumov. There is an attack going on, and it's a sizable attack. So Lumina has committed troops to this. Already captured. That's terrible play from Evalia Usumov. He's lost his tower, thing that's supposed to be providing him with defense, and it's been captured and garrisoned by Lumina's troops. So Evalia Usumov in massive trouble, already bottom of the population pile. Macedonians not anyone's favourite civ again in Alpha 24. But population 65 and in serious trouble. Quite a sizable army. It's 5 Cav Javelineers, 20 Slingers, and a further 11 Hoplites. They're backing off now, and they're building a civic centre right on Evalia Usumov's territory. Now, right at this moment, it's going to need Jorsa to be alive to this threat. Jorsa needs to know this is going down here because it's not going well for him. Everybody has made it to phase 2. We're seeing an expansion here, more of a sort of property expansion really from Caesar. Is looking to absolutely supplement this flank. They obviously know that Edward's going to come through here and be strong. Baba Praga has reached the town phase. It was the last person to do so. As predicted, main tower upgrades going on here. A lot of cav there by Edward, 10 of them. They are going to cause a bit of mischief now, evidently. Nobody else has gone for a heavy cav based approach, as we see Lumina still looking to put pressure on Evalio Usumov, and that could cause some problems. We're watching Edward's cav. He's coming round the blind side. Doesn't really want to go in that way. There are lots of skirmishers there working on the mines. Where would the soft targets be? There are 30 women down there. It's not too far from another 30 women and 15 infantry of Caesars there. Looking around for other action. Moment Lumina is that CC's gone up. Lumina now controls this huge amount of territory. Still no reaction from Jorsa. So interesting. Where has Edward's cav gone? They found those targets. Uncanny ability to find the targets. Is he going to run past this group? No, not at all. This is going to be victims for Edward. Edward goes in. The women scatter the houses. They aren't close enough. And it is a bit of a slaughter. Edward's up to 12, 14 kills. And in comes Dark City now to try and break this up, but not before we get to 16 kills. Still no losses for Edward from this attack. I think there will be a few now, 18 kills. So this is a significant attack from Edward, who's also leading the population stakes. Population of 172, has lost one now, but 24 victims. This is certainly hurting Dark City. The Edward population of 172, 70 infantry, 20 cav, and everybody's chasing them away now. So they're going in for the women as well. Ungarrisoned towers here. They're going in for the women on the fields. So this is a particularly brutal attack by Edworth. The miners are going to have to react. Up to 26 kills now. That is level with Lumina, who I think is probably planning to try and get rid of Evalia Usimov really early. But they're doing nothing to stop this. It's over here, Dark City doesn't seem to know how to deal with it. He's now got his miners off there, but the horses have split up. They're getting free kills on either side of the CC. They're all taking damage. But, I mean, this has become something of a suicide attack. 36 kills. And Dark City's population down to 123. That is the lowest bar Valio Usimov, who took a major beating earlier. So that attack is over. Very, very, very decisive attack from Edworth. I'm really impressed with that. And he's still got 16 cavalry. Where are they all? They're being generated as we speak, most of them. Where are they heading to? Has he worked out something clever for, yeah, he's garrisoning them in the barracks. Let's see if we can get information. Conscription, unlock championship news. He's got nothing in there that, yeah, there's no secret bonuses, I don't think, to make them stronger. But out they come. Oh, this is 19 of them there. I think I've missed one. There's 18 of them currently selected. This is going to pile much more misery. He's seen Dark City's inability to defend this. As we look briefly to the other flank, Lumina's going in on Evalio Usimov. If he doesn't get support now from Jorsa, I think Evalio Usimov is finished. People have phased up. We missed a few phases up. Rorosor's gone to city phase, as has Jorsa. And we're seeing that round about the 15-minute mark. And he's lost another tower. Can you believe it? Yeah. Full tower this time, and this is just a disaster. Evalio Usimov has really dropped the ball on this one. So he's got a tower in his territory. That will continue to frustrate Evalio Usimov. Population 94, lowest in the game. And in enormous trouble, not getting any support from Jorsa. Jorsa's going to pay for this by the fact that after he's finished with Evalio Usimov, he'll be coming after Jorsa next. It's a very aggressive display from Lumina. So he hasn't exactly fortified his borders. He must be expecting trouble from Jorsa. Jorsa's not just going to sit there the whole game. But I think as far as counting on Evalio Usimov for anything useful in this game, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to spend most of this game trying to get himself out of the hole that he's fallen face first into here by letting Lumina expand so fast and so close. Looking on the other side, we've got developments and movements here. This is Caesar carrying on with this plan to outflank and envelop, but we're also seeing Rorosor expanding right to the edges of his territory. Siege being constructed already. Rorosor's already got one siege engine out. There's a ram there. They're building fortress, siege engine, siege workshop, and another one there. 3 siege workshops and a fortress. So that is going to be a pretty strong structure there for Rorosor. Edworth looking in no bother whatsoever. Has he made a siege workshop? And where are his, where are these cav? Who are they hassling at the moment? I've lost track of where they are on the minimap. Are they still in situ? There's 2 of them there. I cannot see where they've got to. They must be lying in wait for somebody. Let me just flick over to Edward's view. See where they are. They're moving over here. Yeah, they're currently attacking Bagapraga, who we've hardly looked at all. Bagapraga has now lost 11 troops. So this will be from this attack. We missed that entirely. Edward having a look at the walls of Caesar, but he's not going to get through there. We've hardly looked at Bagapraga, who's made it to phase 3. Everybody in phase 3 apart from Evalio Usimov. And is Evalio Usimov still under pressure? He's currently still just under pressure from this enemy tower. We're finally seeing some aggressive movement here, albeit only subtle baby steps from Jorsa has put down a military colony to face off and seal off this border. Over here, some proper full-on combat going on. This is Rams from Dark City, lots of infantry from Dark City and from Caesar. And we are seeing another load of infantry there from Rorosor, infantry from Edworth, and siege from tons of siege are coming out here for Rorosor. So Rorosor working very closely in conjunction with Edworth, and Edworth has got the cav out, so it's a double header. They're repelling this aggressive move, and they're going to make Dark City pay back at his base, because that is a whole load of 17 cav units out. Edworth's got reserves as well. They are going to be ripping through his food gathering infrastructure. In the meantime, the battle over here, Caesar's expansion has been completely destroyed. The Rams got to it. The fight-wise, Caesar has lost double the amount of troops, so he's not winning this battle. Dark City also has come off a lot worse, and if we look over at the base here, the miners are fighting the cav, but you would have to say Edward's still on top of this. 153 kills, place 43. He is getting the results. He is absolutely getting the results. There are 8 skirmishes inside the CC firing. There are a lot of the 16, only 14 now, skirmishes over here. Let's see how this battle is going. Have Caesar and Dark City been routed? It looks like it. A mix of Edworth and Rorosor. They are... well, basically, Rorosor is kind of doing what Caesar tried to do, come around the side and support this flank. But Rorosor showing exactly how it should be done. That is a lot of siege engines. They're now working their way into Dark City's territory. If we have a look over here, this looks like it could be the end for Valia Usamov as well. Lumina is coming in with siege and lots of infantry. Finally, we're seeing a move from Jorsa. Jorsa's trying to support. So, tale of two flanks again. On this side, you would have to say Lumina very much in the Ascendant. He's also getting a little bit of support now from Baga Praga, who... has he got any siege? No, he's got 11 champions in there though, so I don't know if that's elephants or if that's champion infantry or cav. Let's see if we can find them. So, not sure. Difficult to say. But a sizable amount all the same, and they're getting stuck in too. Jorsa finally getting involved in some combat. 11 kills, place 6. Let's flick over to the other side. Still masses of cav for Edworth now, just being rotated, and this big army of Rorosor supported by a little bit of infantry, and they're capturing, they are destroying, they're split into 2 groups. Some of them are taking on Caesar on the edge of his expansion, some of them are just going straight through Dark City. Dark City's in trouble, population down to 60, 58, 57, he is getting slaughtered. I think Dark City's game could potentially be over here if this attack carries on with the same ferocity. And Edworth still far and away the most lethal killer. There's 226. I don't think, aside from players like Borg and Christigar who I've covered, I think Edworth is the most lethal player I've probably had regularly on the show. It is just incredible the amount of fatalities he causes when he attacks. And Rams of his own now supporting that cav. It's pretty impressive by Edworth. I am very, very impressed with this. They are making their way gradually towards that CC, and I don't think that CC will be up for long. Rorosor has hit some stubborn resistance here with Caesar. The Iberians, as you would imagine, very solid structures. The progress here has been slower. The Roman buildings much easier to destroy. The battle on this side, it looks like Jorsa's had some success. 91 kills, place 57 losses. Lumia, it's balanced things out. Lumina definitely been fought back a little and taken some losses of his own, I think. So Not quite sure what Lumina's doing. There's a lot of idle troops in there. I wonder if Lumina is not quite sure how to proceed. Lumina should know how to get themselves out of this, but they don't seem to have anything to stop Jorsa at the moment. The Rams are in on Dark City CC. It's halfway to being destroyed now. Dark City down to a population of 44. I can see a resignation from Dark City very, very soon. So there goes the CC. Dark City is going to be severely hampered by this in terms of being a fighting force. No longer a fighting force. Still got 20 infantry in there, so we're down to 16 now. So the troops that can fight, they are fighting, but they are being horribly slaughtered by Edworth and by Rorosar. So Rorosar's doing well with kills, 177 kills now to 102 losses, but everybody paling into significance compared with the performance from Edworth here. Murderous, absolutely murderous, and I think he's going back round to try and hassle. It's just continuing the misery. They're trying to capture the structures. Dark City down to a population of 11. Nowhere to go to rebuild, nowhere to run away, nowhere to hide. And look at this expansion here. Is this an expansion or a capture? We didn't see what happened. That is a civic centre, and it isn't. It isn't a Roman civic centre. So yes, Jorsa has gone in and started single-handedly taking back Lumina's territory. Yeah, Baba Praga is having to withdraw. He's not really produced much, to be honest. There's 38 champions. So he has got an army. I think, is this them? Yeah, there they are. So Jorsa's about to run into these guys. They are, super champion archers. So this could be interesting. Has Jorsa got anything left? Will it all be academic? If Dark City falls, still population of 11, almost entirely territorially wiped out here. And Edward's just cleaning up, building a new CC inside Dark City's former territory. Caesar being pushed back as well, so Caesar's in huge trouble. Population for Caesar down to 65. Valio Usimov having a bit of a respite here of having been supported. And is that catapults? Those are bolt shooters. So bolt shooters being withdrawn, but there's nothing to stop the Rams. Huge big fight happening here. Baka Praga is now making some inroads. His champion archers are cutting through Jorsa's troops. That has leveled things up quite a bit. They must be realizing they're not up against regular archers here. These are the big dogs. So we'll see. Over the far side, still no sign of Dark City actually resigning. He holds a few bits of territory here, but I don't know where his population is. A few of them have run away. They're building a CC right in the middle, so there is possibility for expansion there on the other side of this. But Edworth and Rorosar are in no rush. They're just sort of ripping through. In fact, they've got into, that's terrible, they've got into Caesar's territory. They must be through an open gate, I guess. And anything that comes out of this CC now is going to get slaughtered. There's 19 women in there. There are 2 there who are just basically victims. And it's looking awful for Caesar too. Population of 24. So Edworth and Rorosar have quite convincingly won this flank. They've crippled the 2 players there as loads of Caesar's structure starts to collapse. And there it goes. I think Caesar's about to throw in the towel. Over this other side, we are seeing a bit of a fight back. But Valio Usimov lost his CC, but what's his population? His population's down to 50. They've had to run away, so there was an attack. Basically all of the champion archers and a bit of siege from Lumina came through. But they've got Jorsa on the run, but their focus really is going to have to be these other two players here. And it looks like...
Yeah, see?
Yeah, Baka Praga is sending some troops in here to try and assist. He's facing an enormous infantry and as total siege thing. As good as those troops were, Baka Praga is still in deficit as far as as far as kills goes, but he has helped stabilize things. But they're about to run into this enormous cavalry force, 31. And the champion archers, I think, are going to get brought down a peg or two, especially if they're going to become the meat and the sandwich here between Jorsa and Edwarf. Lumina has to stop building this fortress and focus on fighting. This is going to be the key. The walls are down. Caesar's going to lose his CC. And Baka Praga is getting slaughtered over here, unpredictably. That is going to end in defeat, and Baka Praga having to retreat here as Jorsa and Edwarf come over to soften them up some more. No resignations yet. We still have a full quota of players. Valio Usimov down to population 50, but he has resettled out of the way. Not really been a fighting force in this, but not been wiped out either. Dark City definitely a former player at this point. Population of only 10, Caesar population of only 8, and Caesar has resigned. So yeah, Caesar crumbled. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see resignations from this side. Edworth has definitely got this almost single-handedly over this side. Yeah. That fortress has gone up. They are going to garrison it, I think. Edworth goes around to hassle other players, other teams around here. Jorsa coming in with a massive, colossal cavalry of his own. 73. When did he spam those out? So, yeah. Nobody in a position to defend against this right now. The only... Lamina's got a population of 91, of which only 35 are infantry. He's got 12 champions. Baba Praga, population of 119, 61 infantry, 24 champions. So there is a fighting force, but they are just going to get completely overwhelmed. We're 26 minutes in. Expect mass resignations from Team 2. I think Baka Praga and Lamina could possibly have held out, having crippled Evalio Yusimov. I think they could have possibly taken Jorsa, although he would have made life difficult. But as soon as this flank fell and these teams over here were clear to start spreading back into this side of the map and killing these guys, it would have been all over. But at the moment, we'll have a look at the scores just to see how it's doing. They aren't totaling up. There they are. There's a delay on that. So, yeah, unsurprisingly, military and exploration score all going to Edwarf. Economy score going to Baba Praga, purely because I think he spent more time sorting out his economy than he did doing any fighting. Jorsa has come down with that colossal cav, and they are now just harassing. And Edward's over this side doing more harassment as well.
Yeah, see?
There are champion archers in there, so you can't just run blindly in. But weight of numbers is going to tell, and Baka Praga and Lamina are in trouble. Lamina's got his population back up to 126, got 41 infantry. So nobody's giving this up without a fight. Are we going to see more resignations? I'm surprised Dark City hasn't thrown the towel in. Dark City right here, everybody's just kind of ignoring him, to be honest. There are bolt shooters right next to him.
Yeah, see?
A diamond of infantry there from Rarasar just being pulled back to a safe distance, and I think they may well... I don't know if we'll see a final push to victory or whether this will just peter out into a fairly routine victory for Team 1. It has been quite routine so far. Jorsa working his way through the outer buildings of Baka Praga. Baka Praga having to fight on this flank, being pulled from one side to the other. How far are we from the end? As you can hear the destruction that's going on. Lumina's trying to repopulate and bring some reinforcements here too. They're fighting a desperately lost cause. And even a bit of Evalia Usamov. He's mustered 4 troops to help here. So that is a contribution at least. The Colossal Cav are now just going wherever they want. They're being chased around by these units of Baba Praka, but it's not going to make much difference. There's one of Dark City's troops in there. Yeah, there's one Roman swordsman. Yeah, they're nearly dead anyway, so they aren't going to live very long. I wonder if we ought to speed this up. I mean, we know who's going to win. There are small confrontations going on here. They're trying to bring down Dark City. Oh, Baba Praga has resigned. There goes Dark City CD. There goes Dark City, in fact. So we're left with Lumina on their own, and Lumina surely is going to throw this in. Lumina's got nothing to fight for here at all. Let's speed it on. And yeah, it finished round about the 28-minute, 53-second mark. And a pretty concise and comprehensive victory there for Team 1. Let's see how it broke down. Okay, scores wise, yeah, big wide gap. Team 1 absolutely in control of that. The 3 players that we thought would be significant, Rarasar, Edwarf, and to a slightly lesser extent Jorsa, all scored 10,000 plus, with Edwarf rounding out with an individual score of 15,335. That's huge. Comparison to Team 2, Lumina and Baba Praga, I can't get this right, Baba Praga, both got 10,000 plus. Dark City and Caesar, who looked like they would be a threat, their threat was very quickly negated by this teamwork between Edwarf and Rorasar, who both played exceptionally well. And let's go over to the old kill-death ratio. Only one player featuring here, and that is Edwarf. Kill-death ratio of 2.83. Everybody apart from Evalia Yusimov on Team 1 got a positive kill-death ratio. Nobody on Team 2 managed that. Lumina did, by virtue of the number of Evalia Yusimov's troops that he slaughtered quite early on in the game. So, not a lot to talk about on that really. It was won very much by the speed of Edwarf's development and his choice of units, his choices of attack. Rorasar boomed incredibly quickly as well. The two of them got to phase 3 very smartly. And Dark City and Caesar, despite having quite decent defensive structure, they could not contest with that. They were not in that game at all once the first attack came in and they were fought back. So yeah, a lot to learn from that. Unsurprisingly, Edwarf supported that, submitted that game. Massive thanks to Edwarf for that. Do love watching Edwarf's games because they are always quite spectacular, and he is an incredible player to watch. So I'm looking forward to seeing some Alpha 25 games from Edwarf fairly soon. I have no doubt there will be some. All that remains to be said, massive congratulations to Team 1, a really comprehensive victory. Thanks to Edwarf submitting the game, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to be notified of future episodes. If you'd like one of your matches featured on the show, see the video description of how you can submit your replays. And if you can't wait for the next episode, then why not check out these playlists in the end titles for more replays, commentary, and tutorials on 0 AD Newbie Rush. I'll see you in the next video.